Hey everybody, my name is Devin. This is a 20-minute restorative yoga sequence without any props. You can grab a blanket or a pillow for added comfort, but know that it's not necessary. This is only 20 minutes, but it's enough to reset your nervous system. It's super helpful in helping you with any anxiety or stress that you might be feeling. And we'll use these postures and this time together to discuss why restorative yoga works and why it's a really powerful practice to invite into your life on a regular basis. So we'll start this sequence on our belly in a belly down shavasana position. If you have a blanket or a pillow, go ahead and take it to the top of your yoga mat, and that will go underneath your head. So you'll lie down, and we'll just start with a few moments of time on the front body. As you get settled here, just close your eyes, and your arms can be wherever you'd like. If you want to stack them underneath your head, you can. You can stretch them along your sides or forward. Just get really comfortable on the front of your body. Take a few deep breaths on your own. And just allow yourself to acknowledge where you're at right now. Notice the way that your body feels. Notice the thoughts that you're having, any emotional charge in your experience right now. So we're not trying to change anything at all. We're not trying to slide into a better mood. We're just trying to become more attuned to exactly where we're at. Take a few rounds of deeper breath and feel your body expand and fall away from the floor. Everything that you've experienced up to this point, just set it aside. Let yourself have a simple experience of body and breath. And we'll get started with our first posture. Our first posture is a half prone frog on the floor. So you can take your right knee and just hike it up towards your right shoulder. At this point, if you want, you can slide a blanket underneath the inside of your right knee if it feels uncomfortable. If it's all right to just lay it down, you can do that. Keep your gaze towards the right side of the room. I'll start a timer for us. And just settle in. So all we've done is now open up the pocket of the right inner hip. We don't have to force this posture. We don't have to push the right leg down or the right hip crease down towards the floor to make it deeper. All you have to do is just relax into this shape. Just using awareness alone, see if you can find more heaviness in the right hip crease. And totally relax the inner thigh. Sometimes what happens as we begin this restorative yoga practice is we feel like we're not doing enough somehow, or we can feel a little bit uncomfortable with the simplicity or the stillness of it. So just notice if that might be true for you. And then remind yourself that what we're really here to do right now is just rest. There's a time and a place for busyness and activity. And this is not it. Okay, this is the space to slow down. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the mind to reflect the stillness of the body. In restorative yoga, we're dealing with a lot of subtle sensations, so it's not intense and overwhelming the way you might find a vinyasa yoga class to be. The sensations are a lot finer. Okay, but just because the sensations are subtle doesn't mean that they mean less. We actually learned through this practice to hone in on subtle sensations, to realize that they actually mean a lot more in creating awareness in the present moment. About 3 more super slow breaths in this posture. Take an inhale. And a full exhale breath. We'll transition to our next posture. Come up to your forearms for a moment. So your right leg is going to stay as it is. All you're going to do is thread your left arm underneath. Take the back of your right shoulder to the floor. So we found ourselves in a supine twist position, and now we need to adjust. So you'll slide your left hip over to the left side of your mat, just a few inches or so. And you want to adjust until you find yourself in a really comfortable expression of the posture. So if you need to lessen the twist, scoot your hips around left and right until it feels good. Now, this is a lot of drop for the top leg. So if you want extra support, which I do recommend, pull your left knee underneath the right one and just allow your knees to stack. It's okay if the right shoulder is floating a little bit away from the floor, but do your best to relax the right shoulder down. And the arms can just goalpost out beside you. Okay, we'll settle in for this posture now. Go ahead and close the eyes. Just as we begin the first posture, do a little scan here. And using awareness alone, invite your body to soften into the shape. See if you can feel the rotation in your spine. Where is your spine twisted? Just feeling it out. See if you can feel more heaviness in the back of your right shoulder. Notice the stretch in the front of the right shoulder and the front of the right chest. As you feel the rotation in your body, see if you can also notice the total length in the right side. So all the way from your right fingertips down to your outer right knee, lengthening. Notice if it feels easy or hard for you to find stillness in your body. We're not judging it, we're not calling it good or bad, we're just noticing. If the mind feels particularly busy, see if you can just allow it to be busy. Observe its busyness. And then if the mind is clear, enjoy that space. See if there's a way that you could invite your body to let go even more. So it's not about rigidity, this practice. It's about inviting the actual edges of your body to soften out. It's a practice of seeing how deeply we can rest. But whether or not we do reach deep rest, it doesn't matter. It's the intention and the showing up and the willingness to try that really impacts our life off of the mat. 3 more breaths. You'll transition out of this posture now the same way that you came in. So lift your right shoulder away from the floor and roll onto your belly. So you're back in your belly down Shavasana position. You're going to stay exactly as you are. I'm going to switch around so that you can continue to see my body. So you stay. And we're just going to switch sides from this point. So from your belly, slide your left knee up towards your left shoulder. So we're back in our prone frog on the second side. This time you're gazing off in the the left direction. So you're gazing in the same direction as the leg. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just as we began on the first side, just take a moment to feel the shape that is now your body. Using awareness alone, feel the space in your left hip crease. And just invite that to get heavier. Allow your left inner thigh to relax, to soften. It's an interesting quality of this practice that all of the so-called work that we do here is actually accomplished through effortlessness. So it's a bit of a paradox. It's something we're definitely not used to. How little can you do here? The extent to which we can do less is the extent to which we restore the body and the mind. And that doesn't mean that the entire experience will be peaceful or easy. If it feels challenging and the mind is distracted and crazy, we're still doing really good work here. Okay? We're still restoring. Just take notice of your breath. Super nourishing to have the front of the body against the earth. So just find some bigger breaths and feel that. Three more breaths here. Big inhale. And a soft exhale. As gently as you can, press up to your forearms. Take your right arm, just like we did before, thread it through. Turn your left shoulder back. Okay, so the back of your left shoulder comes down to the ground. At this point, you'll have to adjust a little bit, so you can slide your right hip towards the right an inch or two, okay? Just like on the first side, if you'd like, you can pull your right knee up underneath the left one and just stack them on top of each other for more support. Now you're trying to get the back of your left shoulder grounded, okay? And if it's not touching, mine's not, it's really okay, but you want to feel like the shoulder is weighted. And go exactly where you left off. Close your eyes. Find comfort in this position of your body. You can do the same thing we did on the first side. Notice the rotation. Notice the twist of your spine. Where in your spine is there a revolution? Can you feel the groundedness of the left shoulder and the stretch of the left chest? Notice the lengthening from your left fingertips all the way down the left lobe of your body. And this is all that we're really doing in this practice, is just feeling and challenging ourselves to feel deeper and deeper. And what happens as we absorb into sensations is that the mind naturally begins to quiet. And it might bob up and down a little bit. That's totally fine. But we start to become more present, inevitably, by investing our attention into the body and the breath. In restorative yoga, we are strengthening the muscle of shifting and moving attention to positive places. So for example, we're distracted in thought, we're stressed, we realize that we're stressed, and we deliberately place our attention instead on the body sensations that are showing up, or perhaps the feeling of breath. And even if that shift of attention only lasts for a second or two, we've strengthened our presence muscle, so to speak. Take a moment to check if there's something that can get heavier, more relaxed. And about 3 more breaths. One breath in. And a slow breath out. To get out of the posture on this side, we'll do it a little bit differently. So this time you're just going to spin onto your back. And we'll find Supta Baddha Konasana. So from your back, bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees wide. This is a really big opening in the hips. So if you are not comfortable holding it for quite as long, that's totally okay. Take your hands wherever it feels most comfortable. So this could be on the lower belly, the center of the belly, maybe across the heart. Okay. close your eyes. Notice the openness of your front body right now. So the shoulders are heavy into the floor as the heart lifts up and down with breath. And of course, the hips are wide open. This is not a common posture that we find our body in. So take a moment and soften your inner thighs. Relax the muscles in your feet. And release your pelvic floor. And release your lower abdominals. Let your body open more. For this last posture, give yourself permission to let go in that there's nothing to manage right now. There's nothing that you need to fix. There's nothing to control. Allow yourself to experience a few moments that are perfect, where you can just feel and be and observe without the need to do anything, physically or mentally. You might ask yourself, what is it that you need to let go of or set aside so that you can experience a little bit more rest right now? Take a deep breath in through your nose. And an open mouth, exhale breath. Again, breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. One more time on your own. I'd like you to stay here for as long as you'd like to rest. Okay, so you can stay for up to 5 minutes or longer. If you'd like to take this posture into Shavasana and stay for even longer, you can do that. When you are finished with your practice, just give yourself a few moments in a seated position. You can close the eyes. You can move into meditation if it's appealing to you. And then you'll close your practice in a way that feels good to you. But thank you so much for taking 20 minutes to slow down, and I'll see you next time.